Scott, how do I address this trading problem? I make excellent entries, but the market is slow to move in my direction. I get exit for fear of getting stuck. Then the market does exactly what I expected. So this, not surprisingly, is incredibly common. And I think for many of the traders that I've spoken with, there almost becomes sort of this decision fatigue that occurs from just watching, just staring at the charts, seeing what's going on, right? And the worst is, the time, well, not the worst, but like it is sometimes funny when you put a trade on and then doorbell rings and it's something you got to deal with, and trade races to your target, exits as defined. And had you been there, you probably would have exited early, as you mentioned. So it's like, it's almost infuriating, but yet cool that you were right. But if you were there, you'd get out. And so my point in saying that is the actual staring at price movements, staring at the screens creates decision fatigue, because at every little tick, right, you're making a decision, right, to get out or stay in, get out or stay in, get out or stay in. And it wears you down. Like the stress of it, the anticipation of where it's kind of dancing around to, lowers that sort of threshold for that impulse to go off and get out. So I'm not saying that the answer is walk away. I'm saying that the answer is to better understand what you're really attached to in that moment and why it is that there is that stress that is so high. And it could be, as I was saying, and so you could become even more committed to the decision, which is, the exit, right? There's just no other decision to be made. And if that's the case, then does that lower the stress on the tick by tick price movement? It might. If it doesn't, mental hand history is your way to kind of dig through and really understand, what it is that you're fearing, right? Because sometimes there's the fear, especially if, it could be a fear of being wrong, right? You don't want to have the opportunity to kind of lock up some P&L. And then if it ends up hitting your stop, you lost money, even though, so you lost maybe more money, right? So maybe you were up, 5% in the trade, and then you ended up losing at your 1%. So technically you feel like you lost 6%, even though you were only going to sell it at 10%. The point being, like, our perception of loss and our perception of mistakes can be skewed in situations like this. So you really have to kind of just, again, look at it more pragmatically, or look at a little bit behind the fear and pressure to see what's there.